PK52, the Saturday morning meeting, the final session of the shortened digital response on Operation Possible. Follow-up, I call follow-up pursuit. Today is a digital age, and I'm going to give you a couple of examples. Most of the customers that you speak to, if you speak to them in person at the dealership, are not going to buy today. The average closing percentage for a salesperson since I started to right now, if you look at the average salesperson in the average dealership, is somewhere between 15 to 25%. So if you're at 25%, that means 75 out of 100 people, for some reason, leave without buying the car. I don't know that you need to be prepared to sell somebody a car because you know how to do that. If the customer says yes, we have everything at our disposal to deliver that car to the customer. So it seems like to me there would be more money and more success in the car business if we focused on what I do when somebody says, no, not today. I'll let you know. Really not in the market yet. If somebody says that, if 75% of the people say that, if I got a small percentage of those people back, I'm going to make more money, be more successful, and they came back because of me, not the product. The product brought them here, I brought them back. So here's what I would say. In a pursuit situation, customer comes in, I show them a 4Runner. They love the 4Runner, they've done their research. It's not like I did anything fantastic. They knew they wanted a 4Runner before I ever met them. They didn't have time to do a full presentation. They looked at the vehicle, they got a little information, and they left. The moment they drove out of that dealership, you should be at that 4Runner, go, Casey Nix here, here's the 4Runner that you just looked at, and I know you didn't have a whole lot of time right now. The world does that to us. But to buy a vehicle like this, you know, you really need to research and make sure it's the right vehicle for you. Here are 5 reasons that I didn't get to tell you when you were here that I think this 4Runner is better than anything currently on the market. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That video should go to the customer as a personal video within 5 minutes of them departing the dealership. Why would you not do that? They're going right to another store. They've already made a decision that they're not buying anything today. They're going to look today, and within the next week they're going to buy a vehicle. But they wanted to look at a couple of vehicles. You're the only person that took a minute to be able to send them some additional information. Now you're selling yourself. That's what I call pursuit. A customer calls on the phone, or you get a digital response. It's an e-lead or maybe from an outside source like Cars Gurus. To not have an individual video set up for yourself that you could send the customer. Hey, you've inquired about this Corolla. My name is KC. Here's my background. I've been selling Toyotas for over 30 years. Here are my qualifications. Here are my factory courses that I've taken. I've just finished the 2020 Highlander course, so I now am a Toyota-based Highlander expert. Last year I qualified as a Platinum Sales Society salesperson, so I wanted to tell you a little bit about my background and let you know that I am prepared to do any and everything that you need me to do to be your salesperson and your car representative for life. I don't know, maybe that's my rendition. Sell yourself. Don't try to be funny if you're not funny. Don't try to be dramatic if you're not dramatic. Just sit there and introduce yourself. This person has reached out. They didn't even go through your website. They went through a third-party website. Your vehicle was featured on there. It drove them to you in the form of a lead. They found the car. They know the price. They know where you're located. They know everything about the car that they need to at least come look at the car. The only thing they don't know is you. Why would you not spend the majority of your time on your leads convincing them that you're the person that they need to spend a few minutes with? And it doesn't have to be in person. Once you've sent that first video and they respond to it, there are many things that you can send them that would convince them this is the right product and you're the right person. A pathway to a digital response. You should have a video on every core series of every model that you sell. Again, I do my work with Toyota, but if you're another manufacturer and you've got this video and you're watching it, think about this. I'm going to have a video of Corolla, Camry, and Avalon. Those videos are going to be stored in some kind of a YouTube account or anything like that where I can have my own account and I can put whatever I want in there at no cost. My full truck lineup, my full SUV lineup, the difference between my gasoline powered vehicles and my hybrid vehicles in separate videos. So if I'm walking in a grocery store and I've got my Toyota logo on and somebody comes up and goes, "Do you work for Toyota?" You could always give them the dramatic pause. Yes, I do work for Toyota. How can I help you? You know, my wife and I were thinking about getting a Sienna minivan. We've been looking at minivans because we have 2 grandchildren and we need something to put them in because we love going and spend time with grandchildren. I said, if I can just get your cell phone number right now, I've got a short Sienna minivan video that I think would be very instrumental in your decision-making process. At that time, you send a video. I mean, you were at a grocery store. They identified you as a rep from Toyota. They told you what they were going to buy, and you just sent them a reason to buy from you. Now, after I've gone through all this on this side of the board, do I really expect you guys to go back and start doing all this? No. Do I know if you did all this that your result would be bigger? Yes. You would spend more time with people that are ready to buy, not people that are just looking. Your repeat and referral customer level would go up and through the roof. The goal here is, if you're going to be in the car business, to create your own business and make sure the asset of every sale is you. Maybe people don't tell you that. Maybe when you first started working, maybe this is your first day at the dealership selling cars. I'll tell you right now, it's just a car. And other manufacturers make cars that are pretty similar. And they all tell you their cars are the best. The only difference in a sale is always going to be you. How much energy and effort did you put into the customer before they came in? Because they know that and they'll appreciate that. That may be the reason that you get the car deal. To finish up this series, I call it a chess match. Take your time. If you're playing a game of chess and you're playing against an opponent that is very good, you need to make sure that before you make any move, that you think through the move. Take your time. You have time. Know your competition. In the car business, I need to know what are the key sellers against my product. I also need to know who my customer is, how they're reacting, what they've asked for, and why they're asking for it. I need to know all of the competition. The more you know about the competition, the better the chess match is going to be. Reserve your power. Very few chess players start their first move with moving a pawn out of the way and getting the queen into the game. There are all kinds of pieces on the board, and all pieces are powerful. You can win a game with a pawn. You can win a game with a knight. You can win a game with a rook. It's all about the strategy of how you do. Every chess match can be different based upon your opponent. Anticipate common objections. If your customer comes in, if 9 out of 10 customers say, "I'm just looking," watch my hand, "I'm just looking." It's almost like the hand goes with the statement, like they've learned this years ago. "I'm just looking. So stay away from me. I'm just looking." Okay, I know they're looking. I got it. Are they interested in buying a car? Absolutely. So what is the best way to overcome that objection? "Welcome to the dealership. Hi, my name is KC. I know you're just looking," and that's important. Let me ask you a couple of questions. So if I know they're going to say it, and I know this may be a little corny, man, but you know what? It is what it is. If I tell them I know they're just looking, before they say they're just looking, obviously one thing I didn't do is I didn't get aggressive. They put that hand up, say, "I'm just looking." They're basically telling me to back off. I just backed off before they told me. If I can get the customer comfortable enough, we can spend a few minutes together. I'll tell you a little secret of the car business. Probably shouldn't add this in, but there's all these people on the internet. All these people will say they're the greatest closer in the history of the car business. There's a secret to closing. And it's not that they're smarter than the other person. The people that are great closers are very articulate. They can talk anywhere, anytime. They can come up with a conversation with a total stranger, and the stranger will be completely enthralled in the conversation. So the secret of closing in the car business is to continue the conversation. Because at any point in time, if the conversation is completely over, the customer is going to leave. But if there's something else to be heard or something else to say, the person will stay. So great closers, you watch them in your dealership, the people that do the closing for you. Watch what happens. They just get into a conversation. The conversation just continues until the customer gets comfortable enough they say yes. They wanted the car in the first place. All the closer did was get them to the point where it seemed rational enough that it's okay to buy a car. Sometimes they just look at them and go, it's okay to buy the car, buy the car. So they've got somebody that's willing to communicate with them to the point of purchase. Is that a great skill? I don't think so. I think that's something that people get naturally to be able to talk. But the more you practice this, the more you can continue the conversation.